Okay, we have video, we've got enterprise social. Is there anything else? Are there any other sorts of types of tools that are fundamental from this working from home thing? Can you do it with Zoom and Slack? Or are there other things which are tools or pieces of that puzzle which are going to be valuable or invaluable?
Right. So Slack doesn't try to do everything, Ross, as you know. In fact, I've listened to interviews with Stuart Butterfield, who's the CEO of Slack, and he says for a 2,200 person company, we use something like 560 different tools. And that seems like a lot, but if you think about Google Drive and all the tools there, or Microsoft Office, or Salesforce for CRM, or Workday if they use that for paying their employees, or ERP and cloud storage solutions, and they still use Zoom. And I'm just naming 10 or 12 tools here. So you can't do everything in one of these tools. Slack is trying to be the glue that puts all these things together. And if you think about the fact that there are more than 2,000 apps last time I checked, there are a lot of really cool ways to use Slack. For example, as a professor, I used to do polls with my students. Zoom isn't quite there yet when it comes to third-party apps, but they're going to be catching up. So if I wanted to set up an Outlook or a Gmail, a Google Calendar appointment, I can sync that with Zoom. So if I'm on the phone with you in Zoom, no one can book that time because it's going to read that if I put my calendar that's out there. So I don't think that there's one mega tool, but one of the tips that I give in the Zoom book is to pick a lane, right? If I only communicate with you in Slack, that's great. I know where to go. But if I sometimes communicate with you in Zoom, and sometimes it's text, and sometimes it's email, and sometimes it's Microsoft Teams, and where is that one key document, which is going to drive people crazy? In fact, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons that many people have resisted using Slack, and to a lesser extent Zoom. They're just used to email. Even though it isn't terribly efficient, they don't have to learn a new language, so to speak. So hopefully they'll realize when they see It's a Dummies book that it's not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can. And these tools require zero programming. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to open your mind. And if you want to use Zoom for just meetings, that's fine, but you can do so much more.